Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. It is Brittany with Scribbles by Brittany, and I am bringing you I don't want to call it like a cheap art supplies thing. I actually picked up all of this stuff right here from the local Dollar General. They have their own, and I grabbed the wrong brushes. Oh well. I accidentally grabbed the watercolor brush set, not the acrylic. Right now I'm using the acrylic. Either way, we're gonna do a little bit of painting. These were $1 a piece, and I bought 3, but I figured I have 2, so because I was just I bought 3. Wasn't sure how many I was going to use for this project, and then I realized, and then as I was looking, there's actually a built-in palette wells for mixing these paints, and according to this, they're supposed to be high quality, vibrant colors with a bright finish. So let me get these out. And these, I think I paid $5 for this set, and then I think it was $5 for the brushes. And I literally, the whole reason why I picked up this is because it had the same color of, like, you know, like this says acrylic, that says watercolor, like that's what. And then I realized after I just started like filming that those are watercolor brushes. Although I don't really know much of a difference, I guess. I kind of use whatever brushes I can. So far looking at this, it is definitely some cheap plastic. But if you are doing this painting with kids, it's really not that big of a deal. We've got crimson acrylic paint, we've got red, we've got yellow, green, blue, purple, black, and white. So if we need a brown, we'll have to mix it, and if we need an orange, we'll have to mix it. So that is going to be quite interesting. As far as what I'm going to be doing, I'm not too sure right now. Oh no. But, yeah. So what I kind of wanted to do was some, like, test, like, how do I explain it? Test strokes? That sounds terrible. So we'll kind of just do a crimson one on here. I'm going to kind of keep that a little upright, just like that. Just going to kind of take it and go down. And mainly it's just to kind of get a feel of what these feel like, what these, I guess, handle, if they handle similar to other acrylics, or, you know, stuff like that. Like, and there is a little pop at the, although that one kind of like went a little crazy. Okay, so that red is more on the orange side. I mean, it is very red, but kind of chunky. put a little bit too much there. I probably should have gotten some paper towels or something. Hey, I have some. Sorry, G. I don't want to run over your Tootsie Pops. My dog is underneath my... Well, he's kind of underneath my feet right now. There we go. Just wanted to do that so that way I can... Okay. So not too bad. As far as it drying, it dries pretty quick. As long as I'm not like globbing it on there. I'm afraid this one's gonna be like super fluorescent. Yeah. This one's gonna be weird. I'm gonna put that one aside for my reds. Yeah, this one's like really fluorescent. Like, it just seems really bright. Like, usually that there's a is it really called like an undertone? I'm not too sure. But it's very, very bright. Like, it's highlighter yellow is what I like to call it. Like, it's very, very yellow. Not like a deep, rich yellow. Oh, kind of came out a little bit weird too. I'm gonna kind of use my green with this brush because I didn't have a whole lot of yellow on it. So the fear of mixing is not... Okay, I'm honestly not hating these too much. Like, for what I paid for them, being in the little tubes, not bad. I don't have a thing of water to be able to, like, do anything with it, like, wash out my brushes. Oh my gosh, I am so tired. I was meaning to go to a concert that I was really excited about, like, 8 months ago. I was really excited about it, and the concert's here, and I had this overwhelming feeling of, like, dread, like something was gonna happen, and then on top of that, it was really hot, so I just had this overwhelming feeling that I didn't really like, and whenever I get that gut feeling that something's not good, I tend to listen to my intuition. It could literally be nothing at all. Like, it could literally be absolutely nothing. And I could just be overthinking something, or I'm not even sure. I just had this weird, overwhelming feeling, and I definitely did not like it. And it's such a scary feeling. Like, it's always it's in the pit of your stomach. And I didn't like I just didn't like the feeling. So I ended up selling my ticket at the last minute and just not going. As disappointing as that is, I think listening to my gut is a good thing. That and like, it was also driving my anxiety through the roof. And so I canceled plans and I have been sitting at home. I'm not hating on that at all. A peaceful night in is sometimes what you need. And unfortunately, I don't know why I had that overwhelming feeling. It doesn't come very often, and I don't know if it was just because I honestly don't know. Like, I physically cannot pinpoint it, and that's the oh my god. Okay. Well, we have a bunch of white. So, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to move these brushes over here onto that plastic. Oh no. And I'm just going to kind of do this. Although the white, you can't really tell that it is the white, but you could definitely see that there is something on the canvas by how wet it looks at the moment. As far as opaque, I'm gonna wait until, actually, you know what, I could probably do a test. I can do a test on this one. So opaqueness on the red for the white is not bad. Like, you could obviously tell it is white. And again, I'm gonna kind of do a test on there. And then as they kind of dry, I'm gonna do the yellow in a different area just because it's a little bit more dry in some aspects. Okay. So it's not bad. Again, I was not expecting that to happen at all. Oh. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I really don't know what I plan on doing. And at the moment, my brain is kind of just in a whirlwind. For the simple fact that, like, I don't really have much of an idea. And then on top of that, like, as I was discussing before in the previous clips, I had full intentions of going to this concert 8 months ago. We get all the way up to the day of, and I'm getting a sense of dread and discomfort, and I'm not sure what to do about it. It's just a whole lot of anxiety. And I was really pumped for this concert. Like, and for me to just, like, throw away the experience of going there and you know, trying to have a good time, even though, like, I'm kind of a wreck. I did not want to push myself further into, I don't want to call it a darkness, but I just did not want to push. I didn't want to my mental load, the mental load to be, I guess you'd call it, like, exacerbated. If that sounds right. And usually if I get overwhelmed or overstimulated, I can be down and out for a couple of days. And I've been doing really, really good for a while when it comes to my mental health. I've been doing pretty good. And today was just a bad day. And just that feeling of dread that I just could not put my finger on. And I mean, for me, I'm trying to make sense of it, and I can't. And maybe in talking about it on here could help. And hopefully, maybe there's somebody out there that kind of relates to that. And I tried to sketch out something on the canvas, and nothing was turning out the way that I wanted it to. So I'm just gonna go over it with a mixture of it was like blue and white to make it a little bit lighter than what the original blue was. Because I really can't think of anything to paint at the moment, and I figured if I just started, that maybe something will come to me, I guess. And I'm gonna make sure I paint like the edges back here. I know there for a while I was doing like a post-it note series on TikTok, and I kind of fell off that train and it's not because I run out of ideas. I forget to keep up with it every single day. So when I forget to keep up with something like that, that takes a lot of mental energy. And I don't like, if I'm doing something day to day and I'm filming it does take a lot of mental energy, and not very many people know that, because they're like, oh, all you're doing is just sitting there talking to a camera and you're not really doing much. And it's like the planning, the execution. I didn't realize I was resting that on the actual desk, but that's okay. All of that goes into it. And so I was looking forward to the concert, and then I'm like, you know what? At this point, if I have a sense of dread that something's going to happen, I don't want to try to push past that and almost kind of like see what could happen. And I'm just, yeah. And I'm just like, it's okay. There's going to be other times. Okay, cool. For sites. There'll be other times. I don't want to push myself, because in the past when I have pushed myself, the mental load just it definitely puts a wear and tear on your brain and your mental capacity, and it's rough. It is rough. I thought about doing like a hot air balloon, and I tend to like fall in that I don't want to call it a rut because that sounds terrible. I want to try and expand my horizon, I guess. And so I'm trying to think of different things that I could draw. Excuse me. I've also been extremely sleepy all weekend. Like, oh my goodness, like, I am so tired. And so I'm kind of like trying to hang on, I guess. Like, I'm trying to like stay awake and all that other stuff. I think I might do that, but first I'm gonna do a hot air balloon shape in white to kind of almost give it like a base. And I hope that makes sense, because you want your colors to be vibrant, and if they're going to accidentally mix or something, you'd rather have the undercoat. Is there an undercoat? Basically, I'll do some white on top of the blue instead of trying to go like, I don't know how to, like if I was to sketch something out on paper, I don't want to have to go around it. Like, I want to lay the colors on top, similar to like an oil painting. But that means I'm going to have to let stuff dry in between, or else it's going to look very, very muddy. I'm just I am legitimately winging it at this moment. Like, I am so unbelievably tired. And I don't understand why. I really don't. I haven't really done anything the past couple of days other than work, and, well, I can't say that. I've had a lot mentally, like, there's been a lot on that I've taken on a mental load, and maybe that's why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And that it's not gonna lie, it's very kind of crappy that and right now with this mental load, I'm glad that our work is letting us, or I should say, like, giving us only 32 hours at the moment, for the simple fact that it's like, right now, if I had to go in on a Friday night, I don't know what I would do, to say the least. Like, I'll do another one down here somewhere. Sorry, I kind of just lost a train of thought and, like, forgot that I was recording for a minute. Oh no. But hopefully maybe I can pull myself out of a funk. I did do quite a bit of traditional artwork last week. I was pretty pleased with myself. Um, I started my movie theater series artwork, and I was pretty excited about that. And I'm doing the baskets kind of a little bit away from the balloon because that's, how they are. Yeah. I've been wanting to do the series for a little bit, and I've gotten the popcorn guy, the nacho chip with cheese, and the drink character done. And they're honestly looking kind of cool, not gonna lie. So yeah. So I decided to start kind of mixing the colors I would probably need for a brown, although it's not really turning brown, it's turning kind of a roast gray color. Probably because the yellow is not really yellow. And no, that does not look like the color I need. Although, I could still use that. Could still use it. So we'll try something else. They have, like, stuff for, like, peach. And maybe if I mix a little bit of green in there. Sorry for my sound effects. That happens a lot, if you haven't noticed. Okay, this is going to be kind of... I might need some green in that. There we go. I want it to be brown. And it's getting closer to that color of brown that I'm looking for. It's a really dull color. I'm going to end up using all of these paint tubes because they're so tiny. That lightened it a little bit and kind of like pulled out a color. It's not the brown that I'm looking for. It's more like a burnt sienna. Is that the right color? I don't know. But it might work, actually. It just might work. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should have done it on a... Okay, yeah. That brown. Yeah, that'll definitely work. I mean, it's a little bit more reddish brown, like a Tuscan red. But it'll work. It'll work. And I'm trying so hard to let this dry, but I am very, very impatient. If you couldn't tell, it's probably why I have not ever done anything with oil paints, because oil paints take like 2 days to dry, and I do not have any patience for that at all. And I'm afraid that if I just let this sit, if I let it sit out, then it's going to dry. Like, the paints that I've mixed are going to dry. Although I really like this color, which I could probably use kind of for an outline in areas. Oh yeah. I like how deep it is. Like, usually if you mix all of the primary colors together, you should get a brown, but I'm thinking that the primary colors that you use are, like, the yellow is a little bit of a deeper yellow. It's not like a fluorescent lemon yellow. And I think that's the problem with these sets, or this set particularly. And this does have nice little directions on the back of it where you can kind of have a mix to create your colors and stuff. So that is helpful, especially if you're a beginner. You know, if you're beginning and you don't, and you're still kind of learning like color theory and everything. It definitely helps. Just kind of do some like splotches, because I know I kind of want to do some clouds and everything, and this will kind of help. At least in my opinion, I think it might help. Like, add some dimension to the background and stuff. I don't know. I'm just winging it. Sometimes that's what you gotta do in life, is to wing it. I'm going with some white. Gonna do some swirly pattern white over the dark parts. And this will kind of create some like cloud texture. But I'm hoping that since I'm painting, it might help with the my nervous system kind of regulating itself. I just keep going back to the feeling of freaking dread that I had, like, and I don't understand it. It's like, and I've been to Columbus like all the time, like because that's where the concert is at. I'd been there, God, I couldn't even begin to tell you how many times I'd been to Columbus, and nothing has nothing bad has happened to me. And there's been many times where I've went alone, so... And that's what I don't understand, is why now? What is my intuition telling me that, like... And I don't know. And maybe I shouldn't dwell on that and worry about it. But sometimes it just makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. I might do this one a very, like, green color. And I kind of really like that lemon, or not lemon, the lime color that they have on the... Actually, you know what? I kind of want to, like, take all of these out real quick. And kind of use this in here. I know, I'm so going against the rules right now, I guess. If there is any type of rule, I don't care. Because right now my white hot air balloon over here is dry. So... shit. Excuse my language. I've been trying to watch my mouth here recently. I don't know if you guys noticed. I've been trying to watch my mouth. Oh, it's such a pretty color. It was supposed to turn out more lime color than it... Like, is that like more of a Celadon green? Oh no. It's a very pretty green. Although some people might argue with me that it's not pretty, but I don't care. It gives me that LimeWire, like, color. And that is definitely a throwback to how old I am. In the comments, you guys can take a guess on how old I am. Which would be kind of funny. Especially if somebody actually gets it right. Very, very nice. Okay. I probably should have went and got a, I kind of want to do a little bit of yellow in the sky. Not, like, a whole lot of yellow, just enough to, like, show that there's some light coming through the sounds, I guess. I don't know. That kind of looks not as great as I thought it was going to be. Actually, that's... no, I'm trying to cover it up. And it's not working. Totally fucked me up. Oh my lord, I'm just, like, throwing these paintbrushes everywhere. I'm not really afraid to get paint everywhere, but dang. Let me get back over that. Yeah, I'll have to let that dry and then go back over it. Not what I had planned. I just wanted, like, little tiny highlights, not anything dramatic. Like, that looks fine. I accidentally colored the entire cloud, and then I lost, like, the white in it. So it fucked me up. Again, trying to watch my mouth, but it doesn't really work. But it's cute, right? Well, I can do the other one purple. Really like the purple. I really like this color purple. I should have gotten some water, but I have some. Granted, I don't have a clean jar to use, but it's whatever. Just use my water bottle and make it look. Don't think I need the green anymore. The good part about these brushes is they kind of dry pretty quick after running them through water, so. Oh, yesterday I was watching TV after I got home from a friend's house, and my air conditioner had scared the absolute crap out of me because it had made that thud sound that it just did. And I wasn't expecting it, and it scared the crap out of me. It scared the crap out of my dog, too, because he jumped, and normally he doesn't jump at stuff like that. Yeah. Scared the crap out of both of us, not gonna lie. Here we go. I'll just do a little bit of a swirly pattern. And we'll do this. Although I feel like I have a little bit too many clouds. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Because you kind of want some that are in the foreground, some in the background. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have a song stuck in my head, and it's by Justin Murphy, and it's that Blue Strips song, and I'm like, part of me is like annoyed by the song, and then the other part of me is just like, girl, like, you can't sleep around with people and expect like your reputation to not like be messed up. And I think that's what the song is talking about. I don't know. It's just, I can see it if like it's a jealous ex-boyfriend type of thing, and like he cheated on you and blah 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 blah, but like at the same time, like, know your worth. Know your worth. So I hope everybody is having fun right now. I don't have, I have energy, but it's not as vibrant as I normally am. And that's just because I'm trying to mentally process just things with work. I ended up going to human resources about situations that have happened on my shift. And I had a massive, lengthy, not just one email, but 2 emails that were regarding my supervisor and just her not giving me the tools that are necessary to succeed when I was her team lead, and then I stepped down and everybody was questioning kind of why I stepped down. And in these 2 emails, it kind of explained why I did step down, and it wasn't like, and I didn't want to give up the position at all. I loved the team that I had underneath me. They're all very hard workers, and I didn't want to disappoint them. But if you are getting resistance and your needs in a leadership role are not being met, it makes it very frustrating that you cannot move forward if you are constantly getting blocked. So I had started to notice that there were a lot of people complaining about her and her leadership and communication and favoritism and just overall, it just does not look good. And how she treats people differently, being as far as like English speaking to Spanish speaking, and that's not fair to the entire team. If a certain type of person is receiving attention, good attention, and then the other section of people are receiving negative attention, or one set of people are giving all of the work, and the other type of people are getting away with not doing as much. It's not fair, and that's, I don't know, so at the time I did step down, and I definitely think that people in HR were questioning why, and I didn't really have a whole lot of reasons why. And then it really started to make itself clear towards, here recently. And unfortunately, the way that my supervisor was treating people, I was, I I am not a fan of stepping back and watching people be mistreated, and it's makes me very uncomfortable knowing that a certain section of people are getting mistreated, or treated differently. And that goes all the way back to like training, like if and they want to rush people through a lot of the training and stuff. And it's so funny because they rush through the training and then they're like, why aren't people staying? And it's like, well, if you guys are rushing the person through the training, then that's 90% of it. And if they don't understand, then it's not fair to that person, and they're going to get frustrated and they're just going to up and quit. So, and for me, I want to see team members succeed. I don't want to see anybody fail. And I feel like that's what she was doing to a lot more English speaking people than Spanish speaking people. And that's not fair. In no means, it's not fair. And I hope that eventually they'll see what's going on, because I think they're trying to push out all of the English speaking people so that way they can get more Spanish speaking people in that particular area, so that way it's all Spanish speaking people. That's my theory on that. It's what I've noticed, because right now English speaking people are a minority in that group, or like us on third shift, so it's not really fair. So I just hope they see me out, or they see it out. I sent the emails to HR and my plant manager, and I'm hoping that people, I hope they understand and they're like, okay, well, we got to figure out something. And I think that's a lot of where my mental turmoil is at right now. Like, all my mental energy is at, because I don't want this to come back and bite me in the butt later on. I don't think it will, but you never really know until you're in, I guess you're in it. So and trying to stand up to a supervisor that's kind of a tyrant, but she puts on this like sweet doll-like expression that, like, you could be thinking that you're getting, I don't know, a Cabbage Patch Kid, like super sweet and adorable, and then turns out you're getting fucking Annabelle. That's her persona. Like, that's how she is. When management and stuff are around, you get the Cabbage Patch Kid. When management and stuff is not around, you get fucking Annabelle. And that is kind of disturbing, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I never wanted to ever experience a supervisor that was ever like that. Like, and I know people can be racist. I know that. I've been around people who are racist. And I genuinely think that my supervisor is racist. But she tries to be very discreet about it. Where she throws more shade towards English speaking people. And she will not throw as much shade towards people that speak Spanish. And a perfect indication of this was we had a kid named Jalen. And he would do he would do a job called the Packers, cleaning the Packers for me. And he would speak English. And then the one day he was speaking English, and he was speaking English and then turn around and spoke Spanish. And that freaked her the hell out. Because he could translate what she was saying if he wanted to. So she was extra nice to him. And extra personable. And you can tell. And she never got on, like, as soon as he was done with his stuff, like cleaning his stuff, I would go and check it. I would tell him what he needed to work on. And he'd be like, all right, I'll go work on it. And then he'd come back and, like, whatever it was, it wasn't done. And it would make me mad. But she wouldn't get mad. She'd be like, oh, okay. And that was extremely frustrating. So, and then it looked like I wasn't doing my job in checking machines. And nothing on him, it wasn't against him. It was her not being a supervisor type to be like, you need to do this. Like, you need to do it now. So, that was part of the frustrating part, is that she was, I think she was, I know she noticed that I noticed that, that favoritism and that little bit of, like, discrepancy. And I think that's what's been taking kind of a little bit of the mental toll has been on me. And it's so frustrating. Like, I had to think about what I was doing for a minute. Because I kind of want to do an ombre effect. Yeah. I had noticed that she would definitely treat him differently than everybody else as soon as she found out that he did speak Spanish and spoke it very, very well. And I think she got a little scared because she did speak English. Or, he did speak English so he could translate, and that. But he never came up to me and said anything, like, because she treated him so well that he didn't have to, like, But everybody else that doesn't understand Spanish and stuff, it kind of leaves that language barrier, and we don't know. It's not as... I mean, I don't want it white, but I want it definitely in an ombre effect. And my supervisor has been in the United States for 5 years now. Unfortunately, her knowledge of the English language is very little, if any at all. Like, it's not very much. Like, she has taken absolutely no effort to learn, but she had gotten the supervisor position. And when I say absolutely no effort to learn, I mean like 0 effort to learn pronunciation or anything. Versus like somebody who has actually been at the company for 3 years. She has learned how to speak English very well and translates to Spanish, and she's in charge of safety, overall safety. So it's like, I guess if, I don't know. And then there's people who make comments that the whole reason why certain things don't happen is because we're white and they're brown, and there's comments made like that all the time, and they're not going to get talked to because they are, and it doesn't matter. You can pretty much, and it sucks, because like, where do you draw the line between, where do you draw the line at discrimination? Is it how somebody treats somebody, or a group of people where they're completely avoiding a conversation? What is it? Like, and it's not fair to that group of people that, and for me, I try to treat everybody the same. I know what racism looks like. I know how bad it can hurt. Even though I know I'm a white girl, blah, 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 blah. You don't, just because somebody is white doesn't mean that they can't be, they don't know what racism is. So, and I've spent some time out in Arizona to know what that looks like. So yeah. So this is kind of like, we're all different colors and we all float together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The quality of the paints were good. They're not the greatest. I definitely liked mixing them. For some reason, that like midnight color blue is what I think I would call it. That one actually turned out really cool. And I don't know why I like it so much. For some reason, it's so deep. It's a rich color. I don't really have anything much to complain about. Like this painting turned out really cute. It's very simple. I just wanted to do something simple today and not really think about anything other than kind of work through everything in my brain. I hope you guys have a wonderful time, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you guys remember to keep what is it? Oh my gosh, I forgot my own phrase. Worry less, create more. Thank you guys.